People with intellectual and developmental disabilities are sexually assaulted at more than 7 times the rate of people without disabilities. Research shows that people with a disability have the same response to trauma as people without disabilities. Furthermore, without trauma therapy and support, they are much less likely to spontaneously recover from trauma. The Disabled Persons Protection Commission, with funding from the Massachusetts Office for Victim Assistance, through the Victims of Crime Act, created a Sexual Assault Response Unit, SARU, to meet the particular needs of sexual assault survivors with disabilities.
More than 20 years ago, after a series of high-profile crimes were committed against persons with developmental disabilities, Massachusetts was at a crossroads. Were systems in place to effectively respond to crimes against people with disabilities? Truly, this was a watershed moment in Massachusetts, as a group of committed people representing law enforcement, human services, and adult protection came together to say, we can do better. This statewide multidisciplinary initiative, formed in 1999, brings together law enforcement, human services, adult protection, self-advocates, and others to more efficiently and effectively report, investigate, and prosecute crimes committed against people with disabilities.
I am a woman who has a developmental disability. I am a sexual assault survivor. Patty Quateri.
In this video, we are going to meet 2 exceptional women, Patty and Leanne, sexual assault survivors who will share their past experiences, paths to healing, and their roles as peer support leaders. As a vital part of SARU, DPPC, and BPI, Patty and Leanne work to support other survivors and ensure meaningful access to trauma services.
I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor, because I always identified myself as a victim. It means I went through it and now I'm here to tell my story and that I'm not a victim, that it happened, and it did happen, but I made it through.
My ex-boyfriend is supposed to take me to the movie. He goes, let's go see Mr. I said, why? He goes, they have a dance every Friday for people with disability at his house. About a few weeks later, the guy I knew softened me. He forced me to stay there for the whole weekend. I had to clean his house, do the cooking, and go shopping with him. He let me go on Sunday night because my mother probably was coming home from the Cape. He knew that.
I was with my friend, we were on a chat site, and we went to meet a guy. So we brought him back to the house that she was staying at, and she went upstairs and we stayed downstairs. We all fell asleep, and when I fell asleep, he jumped on top of me. And I woke up and I told him that I didn't like what he was doing. And then we were sitting on the computer, I was talking to one of my friends, and he forced weed in my mouth. I did not like it. And then I went back downstairs and he raped me again. So I woke up really scared. So I told my friend what happened, and she thought it was funny. So she didn't really help me. So the next day we brought him back to his house, and he gave me a tour, and he raped me again in the bathroom. So I got very scared. So I ran out and I told my friend we had to leave.
So I went home. I didn't say anything because he threatened me to kill me. So I didn't say anything. It's like maybe 4 hours later, police call. I ran to the bathroom, locked myself in. Don't let anybody get me. My sister and my mother broke the door down, get me out, got me down to the police station with no support, just the parents now did it.
I told one of my friends at school what happened, but I told her not to say anything. But she told my teacher, and my teacher went to get one of my support staff at school, but I told her what happened, and she had to call my parents, so my parents came down and they talked to my parents, and my support person brought us into I went in to meet with one of the nurses and she didn't believe me. She said I made it all up. My mom stayed with me. My dad stayed in the waiting room. And the doctor came in and was like, we're doing the rape kit right now. I'm like, what? So I didn't know what that was. They didn't explain to me that I could take breaks, and I was very scared. And they said we had to call the police right then and there. And I just shut down right there.
Patty and Leanne have a unique ability to let folks know where things went wrong for them, and to use that experience to let providers know what they can be doing better. Jamie Suvak. The Sexual Assault Response Unit, SARU, is designed to support sexual assault survivors with a disability on the path to healing, decreasing victimization, and increasing resiliency.
Unless a sexual assault victim with a disability or without a disability receives therapeutic services in a very timely manner, then their ability to heal is going to be significantly delayed.
For me, it started with a phone call from a mother whose son had been sexually abused. And because he didn't receive access to trauma services, he decompensated to the point he lost his home, he lost his job, additional trauma that could have been prevented if he had access to trauma services.
There's nothing like the Sexual Assault Response Unit anywhere in the country or in the world. We've brought together service providers, persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities, self-advocates, all for the purpose of increasing meaningful access to trauma services.
It makes the initiative so vital in that we have brought all these people to the table, people with all different types of expertise in this field, and we all know about each other, and we're taking advantage of their expertise and how they can help individuals with disabilities.
Our unit is unique and incredibly innovative because we have a survivor-led unit. Our unit is led by Patty and Leanne, who have experienced a sexual assault, who have a disability, and we're the only ones that are doing that.
The SARU unit comprises 4 key components: navigation, clinical matching, advisory council, and peer support. Navigation provides support, resources, and referrals to survivors to quickly and easily navigate the services they need, thereby reducing barriers and ensuring meaningful access.
Navigation are individuals that have a lot of knowledge about trauma services throughout Massachusetts.
They're regional, they're mobile, they're free, they're confidential.
And they're working hand in hand with sexual assault victims with disabilities to determine what type of services do they want.
Clinical matching provides accessible, trained, and appropriate clinical matches for survivors.
There is not one person that reports abuse that does not get an initial outreach to see if they are in need of immediate medical care, trauma services, therapy, whatever they might need.
The Advisory Council brings together leaders in the fields of disabilities, sexual violence, law enforcement, medicine, self-advocacy, and others to guide the unit and create new avenues for information sharing and problem solving.
The Advisory Council is comprised of extraordinary individuals from across the state in leadership positions that not only have the wisdom and the experience, but they have the passion to work with us to address sexual assaults against persons with disabilities.
Peer support leaders promote empowerment, education, and accessibility for sexual assault survivors. By using their real-life experience, they connect with peer victims to support them on the path to survival. Peer support leaders also provide outreach to transform the way professionals respond to survivors with disabilities. Through their advocacy, peer support leaders are transforming the way Massachusetts addresses the needs of sexual assault victims with disabilities.
Peer support leader is more like helping others to overcome their trauma. With me, I'll help anybody, no matter what.
A couple clients, we talk about, not their trauma, but we talk about like what they like to talk about, and I've been through it, so I know what it feels like. but I really just really want to make them feel better and help them out.
If they want to talk about the assault, I'd say, you know what? You don't have to tell me your story. I've been there.
Patty and Leanne have a unique ability to let folks know where things went wrong for them and to use that experience to let providers know what they could be doing better and how they could better serve survivors with disabilities. Between the two of them, we have a full peer support leader team. They bring something interesting and innovative every single day to work, and they have ideas and they have the knowledge and the experience to bring those concepts to fruition so that they can help their peers and educate providers.
When I hear the phrase "start by believing," it makes me think of the self-advocates that we work with in our peer leadership program. That phrase means so much to people that they know their voices will be heard.
The most important thing is that they walk into that meeting and they let that survivor know they are believed and that someone in their community has also experienced a horrific event and they have come out on the other side. And that's really what peer support is about.
I always say the experience is different, but I use my experience and say, hey, one thing, you can't overcome trauma. We just have to use it a different way. Think positive. Make sure we use positive thinking or positive behavior.
If you're having a rough day, it's okay to ask for help or take a break. But I try to give them new ideas to take care of themselves when they're in that moment. I went to Erica, I'm like, hey, I have a great idea. Why don't I create a self-care bingo game to help my peers to take care of themselves when they're not having a good day. So I love playing my bingo game.
I have heard Patty's story of survival a number of times, and I wish I knew back then what I've learned now. Each time I hear her speak, I learn more about listening. Service provider.
Patty really, when she goes and shares her survivor story and she educates professionals on how to work with people with disabilities, people really listen. Her experiences are raw, they're unfiltered, and there's something refreshing about that people listen.
We did a training about 2 years ago where I trained a lot of therapists of how to work with people with disabilities that are in trauma.
I teach people how to work with people with disabilities in different kinds. 1, always take your time. 2, you should listen. 3, you should believe us, what we think.
Don't cancel your appointments last minute. Don't be late.
Don't call me a client. I do have a name.
People are like in a routine, like they like their routine like I do. So if it's thrown off for some people, their day's thrown off.
I have a name.
We need to listen to these leaders. We need to hear their stories, and we need to adapt our work to what they're telling us is most important.
I am very proud of the work that's being done within the Sexual Assault Response Unit. This team is incredibly committed, they're passionate, they're tireless. They will go the extra mile to make sure that victims with disabilities are getting the services they need to heal.
One person being abused is one too many. And I will not rest until I feel that we're doing everything possible to make sure that people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are safe.
You know, I often think of that mother who contacted me and her son did not receive access to trauma services, and that case haunts me, and that should never ever happen to any other individual with a disability.
Statewide, we would love to have enough peer support leaders that everybody had an opportunity to meet with their peer, because that has been described by other survivors in their community and providers as a magical experience that Patty and Leanne really bring a peace and a hope and a comfort to other survivors of sexual assault.
I decided to help others and teach others how to overcome your trauma because I had that experience, one thing. Two, I went through hell.
I was afraid to first walk into the door. I've been growing so much at work. Now I love my job because now I know I can do it.
I am so proud and honored and feel extremely privileged to oversee this unit. And Nancy Alterio knows, I say this to her all the time, that I have never felt so impactful in my work. And I have been a rape crisis counselor and a private practice practitioner. And every day we make a difference in our unit, and that feels really wonderful.